What's up, everybody? Welcome to the weekend and welcome to stage 19 of the Tour de Beer. A different beer every day of the Tour de France. I'm Uncle Frank. This is Team Beergats. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the final weekend of the Tour de France. It's been an exciting tour so far, and today's race was no different. It seemed to be kind of steady, but things, as they have done pretty much every stage of this tour, did not go according to plan. We thought that Mark Cavendish might go for his record-breaking stage win today. It wasn't meant to be. The way that everybody else just jumped to the front of the pack, it was a very fast stage today, and they just weren't going to do that. So we're going to have to wait to see if he can beat the record of Eddie Merckx on Sunday. Tomorrow is a time trial. Sunday is the last day, but they will have the final sprint. Everything else is still status quo, which does make me wonder, and this is something I've never seen before. Two questions, really. One, has anybody won all four jerseys? It's not going to happen. Tadej Pogačar has the opportunity to wrap up three. Right now he's wearing the white, the polka dot, and the maillot jaune, the yellow jersey. He could have all three, and maybe that's been done before. I haven't looked it up. I just started thinking about it just now as we're recording this video. So could be pretty crazy. He still has to get through the time trial. We're not going to put all our eggs in one basket just yet. So today's winner, Morovic, what a great solo run by him to jump out to the front. And that group was not working together, and he said, you know what, I'm getting to the front, and I'm just going to try and make this work again. Second win for him this tour as well. And this is a guy, if you think back to the Giro d'Italia, he crashed and landed on his head. There is a video of him upside down, like he's skating across the ground on his helmet. Absolutely insane for him to be able to get through that type of crash, and now here is winning 2 stages of the Tour de France. So, yeah, it's been very unique, and so today we're going to have a very unique beer, and that's what we want to be able to talk about today. So I'm going to take off the sunglasses, even though it's a beautiful day outside, put on my regular glasses so we can see what's going on. Hopefully the light stays good. I know it's a little flashy, but it's just too beautiful of a day for me to be inside recording today's video. So, what do I have for you today? A lot of people will say, oh, well, I really like sour beer. My question to them is, do you? Do you really? Here's what they might be thinking of when they think sour. It's a wonderful beer. This is the Blackberry Sour from Smutty Nose. If you want to break this down, technically it is a fruited Berliner Weiss. Berliner Weiss is lower in alcohol, made with wheat, and it will be soured. You add some fruit to it. Most of the Berliner Weisses back in the day would have maybe some raspberry syrup or some Woodruff syrup added to it, but it's going to be very tart and kind of funky. But when people say sour, they're kind of thinking these, and they're very popular right now, is the fruited sours, the kettle sours, which are Berliner Weiss. When I say sour, we're talking this, and I'm seeing that it's not coming. There it is. This is the Gueuze Tilquén, and this is a wonderful beer. So if you tell me you like sour beer, you better be prepared if someone pops open one of these. Oh yeah, I don't need a bottle opener either. It is a cork and cage bottle. This is something special. Coming in at 7%. It is a classic Belgian style, and it's wonderful. So let's do a little history real quick before we pour this out about what is a Gueuze. A, it's not a Gose. G-O-S-E, Gose. That is not the same beer as a Gueuze. Now, you may know what a lambic is. That sun is really starting to not play nice. There we go. Belgian lambics are soured ales, and you can have an unblended lambic, which means it's not put with anything else, and it could be very young, or it could be very old. A Gueuze is a blend of 1-year-old, 2-year-old, and 3-year-old lambics. Then you can take lambics themselves. You're like, well, what exactly is the lambic again? It's a Belgian sour ale, and sometimes those will have the fruit added to them. So you might be looking at a Kriek, which is a lambic with cherries. You might be looking at a Framboise, which is a lambic with raspberry, and the fruit flavor is added into it later. Or your straight unblended lambic, which could be very young, which is not going to be very, very fermented, or excuse me, not very carbonated. It'll be fermented. It's not very carbonated. Or it could be up to 6 years old, and you're going to get all those funky flavors, all those funky aromas, horse blanket and barnyard, and all those super funky sour flavors. A lot of people say they like sours. I think they like tart. They like tart, and this is one that I'm going to have, and super refreshing, and it's tart. This, however, is sour. And this is a classic beer. If you can get your hands on it, I think you should. So let's see what we got color-wise, and let's talk about what we want to put this with for food and everything too. And yeah, I'm sorry, the sunshine is not really working out in our favor. But like I said, it's too nice. I'm not sitting inside today. Just not doing it. Color on this, as you can see, is a hazy golden. Fair amount of carbonation on that, actually very effervescent as it starts to pop out. Aroma on this beer. Yeah, right away you're like, ooh, what have I gotten myself into? This is going to be sour, it's going to be funky, it smells like old hay. Things you'd be like, why do I want to drink that? But if you're a fan of sour ales, this is one of the top. This is what you want to be looking for. Trying to lean to one side, maybe the sunshine will stay there. That's a little bit better. And again, one take videos. This is this is what we're dealing with. So you got a beautiful golden color here. Big white fluffy head on this. When I said hazy, I just means looks like it's unfiltered. Your aroma, old fruit skins, a little fruity, wheat. Sour, not vinegar sour, but it could be they're approaching that. Think lactic, think apple cider vinegar, that type of vinegar, if that's the aroma that's there, but not overpowering. It's one of the things with this beer, everything's there that sounds crazy, like you would not want to drink it. However, it's very balanced. It's the minute flavors and they play together. Think of it as the junior high school band and the high school band, and then the professional band. The junior high school band, everybody's making the noise, the drummer's banging, the guy's got his trumpet, and they know how to play, but they don't know how to play together. You go through transitions. Now you have your 1-year-old, your 2-year-old, your 3-year-old lambics. When you blend them together, now you have experience. And experience is this beer right here. This is your professional band. Whew. Now that is tart and sour. Think of fruit that is overripe. There's a sweetness that's there and it suddenly goes away. The back end is salty even, but that's not the right word. I don't want to use that because that's something you would use for a goza. But that same feeling in your palate when you eat salt. What would this go with? This would go with, well, it's a Belgian beer. Classic match would be Belgian frites, just like another beer that we had that would be Belgian frites style. However, I'm thinking cheese. I'm thinking fruits, like I'm getting these fruits here, some overripe fruits, some tart fruits, some cherries, some strawberries, so maybe as a snack. I also think cheese, like a funky, stinky blue cheese, like a Roquefort blue cheese. So you know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to have this with a salad. I'm thinking salad with like a raspberry vinaigrette. And in that salad tonight, I'm going to put feta cheese, blue cheese, maybe some goat cheese. We're going to do all three. That's right. And some blueberries and some pears in that salad. Top that with a little bit of steak. And the acidity here cuts through all of that fattiness, all those flavors. But it doesn't linger. It doesn't stay on the palate. It's like, wow. And it grabs you here, and then it dries out. This is where that salt effect is what I was thinking about that kind of goes, you know, like... And you get left with some of those barnyard flavors, that funk that's there. And that could be lactobacillus, that could be Brettanomyces, it could be any of those funk flavors or funk aromas that are there. It'll change as it warms up. I'm not going to let this warm up though. I'm going to sip through this, not rather quickly, but I just don't think I would enjoy it as much if it was warm. But as it's nice and chilled, like I said, perfect with cheeses or a salad. So this is a great appetizer beer, but also something to have with a main meal. So we have 2 more days left of the Tour de France and the Tour de Beer. And thanks for jumping along and hanging out with us. If you enjoy this, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, hit that notification bell so you don't miss when we post another video. I'm going to go get my salad and enjoy this Gueuze, and I'll probably follow it up with this blackberry sour from Smutty Nose, maybe as my dessert, because it'll be a little bit more fruity. And 2 more stages to go. Let's see what's going to happen. It's going to be a very exciting weekend for those of you who follow the bike racing and the beers. Until then, I'm Uncle Frank. Be good to yourself, be good to each other, and drink good beer. Cheers! Man, it's just grabs you.